This is a team that could be in the AFC Championship game, though, by the end of the season, potentially.
Yeah, that's the thing is well, first, Trevor Lawrence, I think, could have a top 5 quarterback season this year. Like you said, with the weapons they have, with the ability to also run the ball. Like people forget, this guy, he's athletic. We saw it in Clemson. I mean, he can move. I mean, he's not he's not Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Justin Fields, but, he's nothing to, shy away from. He can move the ball with his legs. And like you said, Luke, they could be in the AFC Championship. I mean, they definitely, I think, are one of the sneakiest teams. I think people, yes, are high on them still, but they're still sneaky because you're still counting in New York, Buffalo, Kansas City, teams like that, Cincinnati. People are high on Baltimore now with what they're doing. So I think they're under the radar right now, and I think they could sneak in there and just make some noise, especially AFC South where it's weak. All About the Balls podcast with Mark Davis, Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Hello and welcome to this AFC South episode of All About the Balls podcast. I'm your host, Mark Davis. A little tired and worn out, but here I am, boys, joined alongside Luke Rule and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. Luke, it's been a few days. We had a little extended break, went early last episode. How have you been since we last spoke?
Yeah, it's been good. Doing the steady grind, working. Could a couple of days off, couple of days on. It's just how we roll. Keep it going.
Yeah, man. I know how that feels, man. Doc, how have you been this little kind of extended break we had?
Can't complain, man. Can't complain. That long weekend was definitely something we needed. Back to the grind though. Just working.
Yeah, I know how you feel, boys. I've been pretty much dying since Friday. I've been days and 24-hour cycle doing this airfield striping. So I pretty much have to keep all eyes on the workers, make sure they're not doing anything stupid. But it's rough, man. We've got 2 more weeks of it, 12 more days, or 11 more days now after today. But I wish I would have got the memo, boys. You guys got your college gear on. I should have put mine on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we called and planned this.
Yeah.
We're like, let's make Mark look like a fool.
Yeah, we'll just
make a hat
sit there with the horns down.
I'll make a hat change. Hey, the only horns down I've done is the USF when we went there the Thanksgiving weekend, when your boy broke his leg and almost died out there.
Hey, they're still ended up horns down, though.
Yeah, I was horns down for that. It wasn't the burnt orange and white. That was the old, green and white we were putting them down for. But, hey, student section, and we kicked the show. I was a UCF fan for the day, so I was rocking the undefeated season. That was the one day, Doc, I was rocking the natty chants for UCF. I had to. I was wearing black and gold. I was there for them.
We're not getting into that again.
But, boys, we have a good episode. We're going to talk, like I said, AFC South. And I did allude, out of the last episode, this is probably the youngest starting quarterback room, especially when Will Levis eventually gets that shot. We'll talk about the Titans in a little while, but when he does get that spot, you're going to have Will Levis, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. Definitely going to be the youngest, most inexperienced overall depth out of the quarterback. So I'm excited to see that, but when it's all said and done. But Luke, let's start with the Houston Texans, man. A team that went 13-1 last year. New coach, new quarterback. They hired DeMeco Ryans, former Houston Texan. Great. I thought he was pretty good there. And former defensive coordinator for the Niners. Also drafted CJ Stroud, quarterback at Ohio State, and traded up to number 3 with Arizona to get, old Alabama linebacker, pass rusher, Will Anderson Jr. So I guess the thing is, Luke, is the rebuild started. What are we expecting for the Houston Texans in year 1 of this rebuild?
Yeah, this is definitely year 1 of the rebuild. New coach, new quarterback, new stud on defense. I mean, Dameon Pierce is pretty good running back, second-year running back out of Florida. So I'd like to see what he'll be able to do again. He was a stud last year. I still think they're lacking in the wide receiver room. I'm looking at these weapons, and I'm not liking these weapons that CJ Stroud is going to have to deal with his first year. So,
I do like John Machete.
Yeah, but still, Robert Woods and Nico Collins, 2 guys that I'm not big on. I don't believe in these guys to be the number 1, number 2 wide receivers on this team.
Yeah, I also want to see Dameon Pierce get a little more productive the second half of the season. He kind of fizzled out. I know he's a rookie, things like that will happen, but I want to see the more consistent side of Dameon Pierce. Like you said, he was a stud the first half of the season, and then kind of like got figured out a little bit.
Just got worn out, and the offense couldn't do anything besides him running the ball. And they stacked the box on him, and you kind of slow him down a little.
I'm excited for it. I mean, I know like Doc was alluding to, this could be a team that has number one pick, but we forgot to say that Houston doesn't have their own rights to their own pick at Arizona. So maybe they're competitive. I honestly think they're going to lose a lot of games, but I do think they're going to be competitive. They might not win games, but I think they're going to give teams the money, that their money's worth. Might not for all 4 quarters, but at least the first 3 quarters, they're going to be pretty good, I think. And then maybe they'll get, proving they're so young. They got Derek Stingley Jr. at the line or at corner as well. So like I said, a young defense, young offense. I'm excited to see this team, honestly, for this rebuild transition.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think that it's going to be a very exciting team to watch. They're finally, through the draft, they finally got some good pieces to put together here. I think that they set the foundation for the next few seasons, but I think they're still going to be dog shit. I don't know about how exciting it's going to be to watch. I think that they will be, in the next couple of years, but I think this year is going to be an absolute laughingstock, which is to be expected with the lack of experience they have on the team. But come next season, and the learning curves of the rookies, CJ Stroud getting under an NFL center for the first time, it's going to be a lot of growing. But I think the coming year should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, and something I saw, the defense, I mean, like I said, for how young they were, they forced a lot of turnovers. They were towards like the middle to the top pack, but on offense, committed a lot of turnovers as well, which is a no-go. So maybe CJ Stroud can do something that, with Davis Mills and whoever else the quarterback was. Yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. So like I said, Trevor Lawrence struggled his rookie year. I mean, we're probably going to see it, like Luke said too, not that good at wide receivers. They did get Dalton Schultz though, experienced tight end. I think he's pretty decent, but we'll see.
I think Dak Prescott made Dalton Schultz good though. I don't believe that he's going to be a top tier tight end for this team. I think he'll be average at best tight end. He'll do enough. He'll get the little dump off passes, but I wouldn't expect too much out of him.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Right. We talk about Dak Prescott making him look good. Okay, there's only a handful of guys that Dak Prescott has made good, and they're usually on the opposing defense. Okay,
that's fair enough. Also,
another thing too is this offense is going to have a new offensive coordinator too. They grabbed the passing game coordinator from the 49ers, so they're definitely having the 40 kind of like the Dolphins did. They're bringing the 49ers crew in. And we'll see. I mean, maybe he picked a thing, up or two, whatever, from Kyle Shanahan. Maybe he picked his brain, and we'll see. I mean, like I said, I think CJ Stroud was better than Bryce Young.
That passing game was fucking solid in San Francisco.
But it's not just that. It's just learning, like Kyle Shanahan's mind. You can get the run game involved. CJ Stroud, in the semifinal game against Georgia, they said CJ Stroud can't run. He can't do this. He's only a thrower. I mean, he was fucking running and moving with his legs in that game. He actually gave Georgia a run for their money, and then, the kicker missed a super wide left kick there. So I thought C.J. Stroud was better. I thought he should be the number one pick over Bryce Young, but I mean, only time will tell with the first 2 picks for that position, really, where it's going to be. I like C.J. Stroud. I think he's got a can of an arm. It might take like a college rebuild. We see 2-3 years, maybe 4 years. Hopefully DeMeco Ryans can last that long. They didn't really give Lovie Smith that chance, but he was a bridge coach anyways, unfortunately. But I'm excited for this, boys. With that, though, expectations, I think the over-under for the Houston Texans. I was looking at their schedule. Unfortunately, I'm not Chris, boys. I'm not going to pull the schedule up. Houston Texans, 4.5. I think it's a good number for them. I mean, I know it's only one more than last year's win total, but I think they can go over. I think they're going to sneak 5 wins in there. I don't think they'll be last place in their division. So, if I'm saying 5, so one of these teams are going to have less than 5. So I'm going over, boys. I think Houston is going to go 2-4 in the division. They'll get swept by Jacksonville, and I think they'll sneak some wins in there as well. I think they got some good teams, not good teams, but teams that can beat on that schedule.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to take the under on that one. I'm going to go honestly, I'm like 2 or 3. I think I don't even know if they take one from the Colts. They might take a game at home against the Colts. I think at best they're going to be 1-5 in the division. Not that it's even a very tough schedule, but I'm taking 1-5 in the division. And I'm taking 2 or 3 all season.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the over. I agree with you, Mark, on this. I think I don't think they get their first win until week 5 against Atlanta. I think they sneak that one out. Then they'll probably win week 8 against Carolina. I think they go 2-4 in the division as well.
You
So
don't think they could win week 2 home against the Colts? I mean, home game.
no,
Not early
uh,
CJ Stroud, even against an early Will
no,
Levis. No,
No, AR,
or AR.
I,
Excuse
Colts.
me,
Yeah,
AR.
yeah, I think AR is just going to run over the teams at the beginning of the season, anyways. He's just going to try to prove himself, and I think he's got more weapons to do so at the time. I
yeah. I
think he
mean,
might. I think he might get one in the Colts week 18 when the game doesn't matter.
maybe week
But
1. Maybe he'll go into Baltimore and upset Lamar Jackson week 1.
Ooh, that's a spicy take right there. I might put some down on that one.
I wouldn't put too much money down on that.
No,
So.
I'm not betting
I
money on
won't.
that.
Nope.
Well, and Doc's the
It's
lone
not
wolf
even-
on this.
It's not even worth it putting money on Baltimore winning. I'll win. The odds are it ain't even worth to take the winner.
No, but Doc, you are the lone wolf. Chris has got over as well. He texted me his over-unders. He's got the Houston Texans over. I'm assuming the same thing, probably just 5 wins, probably at best for old Chris. Moving on, though, hey, we talked about Anthony Richardson, and that's the next team, Doc. Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. Same scenario as the Texans. New coach, new quarterback. They got Shane Steichen from the Philadelphia Eagles. And, the key success for him was he helped develop Jalen Hurts. Yes, Jalen Hurts put the work in. He definitely balled out last year. We cannot, critique that at all. But Shane Steichen was a big part of that success. And that's the thing is, if they give Anthony Richardson a start, because that's the question. If right now ESPN has him, right now it's only July, Gardner Minshew as the signal caller for the starting spot in week 1. But if they decide AR balls out in preseason and camp coming up in a couple weeks, can Shane Steichen show that growth with AR in this first year, just year 1? Let him show growth from the first play to the last play.
Absolutely, and I think that's what you got to do. I don't think sitting in behind Minshew is really gonna teach him anything valuable. I think old mustache guard, I think he's number 1 on the roster because it's you brought in a rookie, you drafted a rookie, a lot of potential around him, but I mean naturally, the rookie's going to take the back seat. You got to have the veteran at number 1, but I don't think it's going to take much at all for him to prove. I mean, it may be Gardner Minshew, week 1, week 2, week 3, but I think you're looking at like a Mitchell Trubisky rookie year. Just kind of took a little bit of time into the season, but you will see AR fairly early.
The fans might be calling for him in preseason, and that might be enough for Shane Steichen to start him. He didn't say he's not going to start. He just said that he's definitely making the strides. He looks great. I mean, I think whoever the quarterback's going to be, honestly, Jonathan Taylor needs to show up. He needs to bounce back. He had a good rookie year, had a great second year as well. And then, he missed 6 games last year. And then when he was in there, he only had 2 100-yard games. So he wasn't his electric self his first 2 years. So I think Jonathan Taylor being JT that we saw for those first 2 years helps whoever the quarterback is, especially a rookie like Anthony Richardson. It helps the young rookie quarterback get his feet in there, get settled in, take the pressure off him big time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Anthony Richardson starting week 1 either way. I think they have Gardner Minshew there because he is the veteran on the team. He's played the most games in the NFL. So I think he's just there as a placeholder for now until training camp gets going. And these coaches start seeing the athletic freak that Anthony Richardson is, which he is. He broke almost every QB stat for for the combine. So I don't know. And if Jonathan Taylor can get it together, it's probably going to be a pretty scary backfield having them both back together in the backfield. And I think wide receiver core, not huge on it. Michael Pittman Jr. is pretty good. Isaiah McKenzie, he's kind of hit or miss dude. Other than that, they got a couple of young guys, Alec Pierce and Josh Downs, rookie out of North Carolina. So we'll see. I like his potential, though. I mean, big arm, strong dude, fast. I think you're going to see a lot of him running the ball this year and taking some deep shots, but I wouldn't count on too many accurate passes from Anthony Richardson in his rookie year.
Well, I know that's the thing that me and Chris nailed on. I mean, outside the lack, we saw it, Luke, because me and you and Chris and Wade, we talk about all the time in our chat. The Gators have no fucking wide receivers. They don't produce wide receivers, really. They didn't have any. His only starting season, Kyle Pitts was gone. the year before that. Well, two years before that, actually. So he never really got the player with that last good receiver that they had. Kadarius Toney was also not there. So, but he hesitated on decision making, and maybe that's due because of the lack of wide receivers. So maybe having Michael Pittman, maybe they'll get Josh Downs and Alec Pierce involved, and Jelani Woods and JT. Maybe that'll help him actually make the right decisions. That's something we saw in Florida: bad decision making.
Yeah, I think it'll take him probably the first 5-6 weeks to start figuring it out, getting the feel for the speed of the game, and these new wide receivers that actually have some talent compared to the guys at Florida. But I think you see him running the ball a lot, just trying to embarrass some of these defensive linemen and linebackers in the beginning of the season. Let him know he's here in the NFL now.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing too, Doc, we were talking about the Texans, turnovers. The Colts led the league in turnovers. So maybe Anthony Richardson can help out. I mean, they won't have nearly as much fumbles, I don't think. I think he can definitely secure the ball. We'll see now what he can do. I mean, if they can cut the turnovers down, that helps the defense out, which did take a step back a little bit last year. The offensive line was also not as good as they once were the last few years before that. So I don't know, man. This is big for Anthony Richardson. He's coming into a team for the last 2 decades. They literally one of the most winningest franchises in the NFL. So, and the Colts want success back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not saying they won't find it with Richardson. I was not happy with the pick, regardless of what he did in the combine. The numbers just didn't speak to me from Florida. Receivers are not. I mean, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions is pretty good for the SEC. So maybe he can help keep the turnovers down. But overall, I mean, we've seen him in I just didn't like the way he produced. So I think that the potential is there, but I think it's going to be a couple of years until he finds himself.
Yeah, and I know he's drawing comparisons to Cam Newton, so I think he's got a stronger arm than Cam Newton, and he's probably the same type of runner. He's a freak like Cam. So let's see if he could do what Cam did. Cam came out his rookie year and exploded with the Carolina Panthers. So I mean, he did have Steve Smith at the time. So, I mean, maybe Michael Pittman can be that kind of receiver for Anthony Richardson and actually start to play like he did his rookie year.
Yeah, he definitely can. I mean, there's potential for him to step up. It's, got to have the right guy throwing on the ball.
And another guy that needs to stay healthy is Shaq Leonard, formerly known as, Darius Leonard. So he missed 14 games last year. He's one of the best players in the NFL when he's healthy. He's a freak at linebacker, so he's got to stay healthy for this defense. He's definitely the anchor there. He's definitely the earpiece back there, so he's got to be healthy if this defense wants to turn back around. But over-under, boys. I went one more than the Texans, 5.5, and Chris has got over. So as much as he talked about Anthony Richardson, I guess he's high on the over. Not sure how much over he had, but he went over with the Indianapolis Colts. I went under. I think the Colts are going to be the worst team in this division. I'm thinking maybe 3 or 4 wins. I think they'll be just barely worse than Houston, and then we'll see the rebuild with Shane Steichen. I think once they start getting him weapons for AR, I think this team can potentially turn around following 2023.
Yeah, I'm looking at the over for them. Their schedule is not really that difficult. I mean, I think they end up sweeping Tennessee, then splitting with the Texans, then they're going to get swept by the Jags. But other than that, I think they're going to take Los Angeles and fucking whoop them. They're going to Falcons probably going to lose again. And I think Las Vegas is going to lose. So I got them over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go. This one's kind of tough. I think I'm going to take them under. I'm going to take them swept by Houston. I got them with a win against Carolina and Atlanta. And then my toss-up game, I think, is going to be maybe the Rams. The Rams, I think, is going to be the difference maker in the over-under.
I can't wait till we do the NFC South. I mean, for a team that went 7-10 last 2 seasons, and we only got better literally on defense and offense, I think we could at least still win 7 games. So, but we'll say that.
I think I got 1 for the Falcons.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Arthur Smith's been a 7-win coach both seasons. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll talk about them next, or the next division on the last division breakdown. But, yeah, so I guess me and Doc, we split there, and then you and Chris are jumping on the over. So, Doc, does Houston finish worse than Indy, or is Indy the worst in
Absolutely.
Houston?
No, absolutely.
Well,
Houston's the worst. I'm definitely like Luke said. Indy just has more weapons. The run game is stronger. The line is stronger. They actually have receivers. Lost some pieces on defense, but I still think that it's still a strong enough defense to take over. Houston. I think I said 4 for Houston, so I think I'm going 5 for Indianapolis. So it's going to be a close race for sure.
Yeah, close race for last place in the division. So that's what you want to see. Hey, and moving on, boys, to a team. I mentioned 7-10. They went 7-10 last year, and literally, if they would have won the last game of the season, they would have made the playoffs. They would have won the AFC South at an 8-9 record. The Tennessee Titans, and I'm a big Mike Vrabel guy. I think he's a good coach. I think he's been put in some shit situations with the team he's had, the offense he's had, mainly quarterback.
Giving away weapons.
Mainly quarterback. You give away A.J. Brown last draft in 2022, and you saw what he did in Philly. He stayed healthy, and he balled out. But the question, though, Luke, is how much borrowed time is Ryan Tannehill playing with? I mean, they did pass on quarterback in round 1. Somehow Will Levis fell the first round, and Tennessee traded up to get Will Levis in the second round. How soon do we see Will Levis? Because I'm pretty sure Malik Willis is not going to be the backup when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I think by at least week 6, Will Levis will be the starting quarterback for them. I think Tannehill's gonna win a couple games, and he's probably gonna drop some games that he shouldn't lose. And I mean, not really to his fault, because his wide receiver core again is not very strong. I mean, they tried to get the A.J. Brown replacement, but Traylon Burks was not that replacement for them. So I mean, this offense should really be if Derrick Henry's the Derrick Henry he has been in his past. So if he stays healthy, I think the offense is just going to be run Derrick Henry every play and maybe dump the ball off a little bit. But I don't have high expectations for this offense at all.
And I don't know about you boys, Derrick Henry might not last the whole season in Tennessee. If they're a shit show, he could get traded by the trade deadline and to a contender that needs a running back, kind of like the Niners did with Christian McCaffrey, get a consistent running back and make that team better. But I do agree with you, Luke. I think maybe week 6, maybe week 8, something like there. I think he won't come as soon as Kenny Pickett did. Kenny Pickett came in the 5th game of the season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think because of Ryan Tannehill, he's more of a true veteran than what the Steelers had. I mean, it was just was it Mitchell Trubisky? So I think Ryan Tannehill is better than Mitch out there, but not much better. And we've seen what Mike Vrabel's done. He's got to the AFC Championship with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. All you have to do is run the ball with Derrick Henry. So I do think that you're going to see Will Levis this year. That fucking mayo in his coffee and banana peel eating motherfucker. You're going to see him. You're going to see him pretty soon, I think.
I think you're going to see him around week 8, week 9.
Yeah, the Malik Willis trial is over. I think he is done with this team. He'll be a career backup in the NFL at best.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be Tannehill starting out the season. I think it's going to be like his last chance to try and pull something out with Tennessee, and I think it's going to be like an Andy Dalton situation in Chicago, another placeholder situation, just kind of letting your rookie learn behind the veteran, let him examine the play, see the pace, or examine the game, see the pace of play, and just let him kind of ease into the atmosphere. Get him some late snaps from fourth quarter games or something. I don't know, and then we'll see him probably around 7 or 8.
I mean, Malik Willis, though, back to him real quick. When he did come in, he got handcuffed. I mean, I don't think he was that good anyways, but he got handcuffed. It was like run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Okay, 3rd down 8, 3rd down 9. Let's throw it now. But whoever the quarterback's going to be, doesn't matter which of these 3. I think they're in for a long season. They have 5. Well, the first 6 games, 5 new offensive linemen that are going to be starting. Their other 5th that would have been playing, he got suspended for gambling on the facility on non-NFL games. So the first 6 games, you have 5 new offensive linemen. So, God, man, I feel like whoever the quarterback is, it's going to be potential hell being put on them for this whole season.
100%.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think this defense can do it either. I don't think this defense can handle these other powerhouse offenses in the AFC. So it's going to be a long season for the Tennessee Titans, I think.
Yeah, and that's the question. I mean, I know we've mentioned a few of these coaches on these breakdowns on the hot seat. I mean, I honestly think Mike Vrabel's a good coach, but do they can him? I mean, they have a new GM, and you know what they say: new GMs mean new coaches because they want to bring in their kind of guys that they want. So could Vrabel be gone at the end of the year? I don't think they'll fire him during the season just because they have too much respect for him, what he did for the team in those couple of playoff runs he had.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's on the hot seat, but I don't see him getting fired, even if they have a shitty season. I think Vrabel's beloved by the city of Nashville now, so I give him maybe 2 more years before he gets fired if it's trending the same way as it has been.
Yeah,
I think I'm in agreement there. I mean, if I'm Vrabel, I'm looking to get out, though. I mean, they've put together a winning team, and they just continue to give away pieces. I mean, I'm praying to God that they're cutting me after the season.
I mean, you saw the GM get fired literally after the Eagles game when A.J. Brown put 3 touchdowns on him. So you saw that.
That is true. That is true.
So there's also not Vrabel's decision. So he didn't want that trade to happen.
Well, you saw.
No, I know that.
Yeah. He was
no,
pissed
I know
that night. He literally
That's
left
why
the
I'm
room
saying
and
I'd want to be out of there. But no, I mean, new GM. You're right. I think that, like you said, with the playoff runs that he's made, he's built some reputation for himself. So I think it's just a conversation between him and the new GM that's like, hey, look, fresh slate, starting over. You know what I mean? Let's just move on. Let's just build a winning culture.
It just sucks because, I mean, he has that, mentality, where I want to play for Mike Vrabel. They say when he's out there, he's with the linemen, he's with the fucking team, going all in with them. I mean, he's definitely a people's coach or a player's coach, and it just sucks. It's just honestly such a shame. They were literally a fourth quarter away in the 2019 season from getting to the Super Bowl. They were literally up by 10 or 17 on the Chiefs, and they blew it. So, I mean, yeah, it's a shame that you see that, and then here they are now. Will Levis, a quarterback, potentially very soon. Mike Vrabel could be gone in a year or two. It's just a disappointment out of Nashville, where, Luke, that's your new hometown for a little while. I mean, hopefully, yeah.
Definitely got to go see him in person for a couple games, so we'll see. I'll find some cheap game to go to.
Wait till week 13 or 14.
Should be all of them. Should be just about all of them.
Week 13 or 14, you could probably get a good steal.
Their schedule shows the lowest ticket price. I see a couple $21 tickets in here.
Oh, love to see that.
You can go to the game December 17th, Houston at Tennessee. There you go. You can see CJ Stroud playing Will Levis potentially.
See some amazing QB play going on.
Watch that game when we come to it. Both quarterbacks had over 350 yards, 4 touchdowns each, just a shootout. That's at the game. But over under for the Tennessee Titans, just because I respect Mike Vrabel and he went 7-10 last year, 7.5. And Chris went under, and I think I was playing around with the season simulator, which we'll do that, and we'll share our projections when we actually do our real standings. I have them just under. I mean, I think Vrabel's good up to get maybe 6-7 wins. I do think that they can go 7-10 at the best case situation, just because Raves is a good coach, but that's also depending on if Derrick Henry's there for the whole year too.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm taking the under as well, but not by much. It's going to be a close one at 7. And I think that the only way that they move from there is down. I don't think that there's any potential for really more than 7. I think that there is potential for it to be lower. Derrick Henry definitely needs to be there all season, and I think it's going to depend on how quickly they get Will Levis out of the starting gate and give him the reins.
Yeah, I think we're all going to agree on this. I got him at 6 wins. So also the under. That's a generous 6 wins too for them.
I also got him over the Falcons.
Yeah, I do have them over the Falcons and Carolina, but other than that, they'll probably sweep Houston and maybe squeak 1 or 2 out that they shouldn't win.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. And I don't know if I said it, but Chris has under 2, so clean sweep on the board. But hey, I want to see it. If Will Levis scores a touchdown, a rushing touchdown in the NFL this year, I want him to pull a banana out and fucking eat the whole banana with the peel on. Do a celebration like that. Go in style, man. Well, I mean, you don't have to do all that. Just eat the banana. Yeah, eat the banana peel. But boys, Doc, I'll start with you on this one. The Jacksonville Jaguars, a team out of Duval County. They came out in year 1 with Doug Peterson. They went 9-8. Won that last game of the year against Tennessee, won the division. They were down 27-0 against the Los Angeles Chargers and won the game. Came back, lost the Chiefs in the divisional round. A top 10 offense, I mind you, there as well. But the last time that we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars have a good playoff season, after the 2017 season, they shit the bed ever since. So can the Jacksonville Jaguars finally live up to this potential that they have put on them with Doug Peterson in his second year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this team is only making the right moves and they're going up. I think that they could have used a little more work on defense just to kind of bolster a little bit. I don't think their defense is bad by any means, but I think that it could have definitely used some help to fill a couple holes. But Trevor Lawrence is getting better every time he touches the football. He's just got to stop holding the football too long. But he's getting a lot better in his passing games. I'm very, very excited to see Calvin Ridley back this year. I hope that he has been working out in his leave of absence, his extended vacation that he had from Atlanta. That was such a shame to see that go down. But I'm very excited to see him back and what he's going to do. Huge threat, huge weapon from his time in Atlanta. Again, it all depends on the work that he put in his off seasons. But other than that, I mean, I think that the team overall is making all the moves in the right direction. And I think that they only go up from here.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see it. They, like you said, they load up on offense in the draft. They drafted another running back. They even signed a running back in free agency. They drafted a tight end. They drafted a tackle to replace Jawan Taylor out there at tackle position. And like you said, the defense, I wish I would have seen more. I mean, they were a bend but don't break style defense. They gave up a lot of yards, but didn't give a lot of points. So,
but they were effective.
Yeah, they were effective when it mattered. They forced more field goals than touchdowns, and that's the way to play the game. If you're going to give up yards, that's fine. You give up a couple field goals and a touchdown here and there, you can win with that. And the offense, like I said, was top 10 already. They were 10th in scoring and 10th in yards. So Trevor Lawrence does need to cut the turnovers down. He cut the interceptions down last year, but the fumbles went up. So he's got to cut the fumbles down, and his offense can be even better than they were last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
got to stop holding it.
Yeah, this offense is going to be probably one of the more electric offenses in the NFL. I mean, this offense is deep too. So you got Tank Bigsby out of Auburn, who was a stud at Auburn, probably the only good player really at Auburn last season, and he's also got an awesome name, Tank Bigsby. Like, come on,
yeah.
And he's the backup for Travis Etienne, who had a pretty good season last year. I mean, a couple injuries here and there, missed a couple games here and there, but other than that, he balled out when he was healthy. Then their wide receiver core is just, with a healthy Calvin Ridley, they're loaded.
Yeah.
And their tight ends, Evan Ingram's basically a wide receiver at the tight end position. Kind of like that Travis Kelce kind of role. Not as good, but kind of trying to fill that role. Then Luke Farrell, the rookie they drafted. I mean, he's got potential to be a good tight end as well. Then their defense, their defense is solid. Nothing to really brag about. But their linebacker duo, Josh Allen, the linebacker, not the quarterback, and Devin Lloyd are a pretty good duo at the linebacker position. So we'll see.
We'll see what that rookie did last year, too.
What's going to do. This is a team that could be in the AFC Championship game, though, by the end of the season, potentially.
Yeah, that's the thing is well, first, Trevor Lawrence, I think, could have a top 5 quarterback season this year. Like you said, with the weapons they have, with the ability to also run the ball. Like, people forget, this guy, he's athletic. We saw it in Clemson. I mean, he can move. I mean, he's not he's not Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Justin Fields, but, he's nothing to, shy away from. He can move the ball with his legs. And like you said, Luke, they could be in the AFC Championship. I mean, they definitely, I think, are one of the sneakiest teams. I think people, yes, are high on them still, but they're still sneaky because you're still counting in New York, Buffalo, Kansas City, teams like that, Cincinnati. People are high on Baltimore now with what they're doing. So I think they're under the radar right now, and I think they could sneak in there and just make some noise, especially AFC South where it's weak.
Yeah, they're definitely going to make some noise, but I think might take a little bit just to finish the build, get those extra pieces on defense that they need. Calvin Ridley, I think, is going to play a big part in his return, and I think if everybody comes back strong and we add a couple of missing pieces, I think it's time to start being competitive.
And I wasn't high on Doug Peterson in Philly. I know he won the Super Bowl, but it seemed like when Frank Wright left, the whole offense kind of went to shit. I know there was injuries with Carson Wentz, things like that. Nick Foles had to come back, or play that second season too after the Super Bowl.
Nick Foles was the coach of that team.
Doug Peterson last year with Trevor Lawrence, they seemed to just gel perfectly. I mean, we saw their Meyer days. I think that dark clouds are behind them. Doug Peterson definitely turned the page, and they went full force. We didn't expect them to be in the playoffs right away. And like I said, down 27-0 over down the Los Angeles Chargers, all their talent, came back and won. So, I mean, I'm excited. I think they go forward. I think this is the most exciting. I was excited after that Jacksonville Jaguars Blake Bortles year, but I'm more excited because the offense is so electric. It wasn't that electric during those days with Blake, but yeah, I'm excited for the Jaguars out of Duval County.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Luke, that's your why don't you go to the Jaguars game? See, and I know they play Tennessee this year. Why don't you try to have a Jaguars-Titans game?
Is that in London, or where's it at? Is that at Tennessee?
They play each other once on the road, once at home.
Just go to London, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
Too bad the Baltimore game's in London against Tennessee. I was so pissed.
But no, so over under, I think for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think a good number to do for them, 10.5. That's one more than last year. Or, if you do over, it's 2 more wins than last year. Chris has the over. So I think he's definitely high on the Jaguars. I'm over too. I don't think they might be a 4 seed again like they were this year, but I think a 4 seed with 11-6 record. I think 11 is very good. I think that they're good enough to even sneak away some games, maybe go 12-5. I know you guys picked the Ravens, I think, when we did the Ravens schedule. I think they can beat Baltimore. I know it's a primetime game. I know, Luke, you're not going to like that, but I'm not saying it because I hate the Ravens or, I'm not a Lamar fan. I just think the Jaguars are actually good. And I think that it's possible for them to go 12-5, but I think 11-6 is the worst that they're going to go this year.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think 11-5, 12-5 or 11-6, right around that range is probably good for them. So I'm taking the over. Their schedule is not that easy. So they got some tough games with Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. And they play San Fran.
Buffalo will be a win because it's in London. The London Jaguars will show up.
Oh, still, they go through.
First.
Yeah, they go through the gauntlet. So they're going to play some of the top teams in the NFL on their schedule this year. So, but they also got to play the NFC South, which is fucking all cake game. So they'll probably sweep that division.
I will say the AFC South is an overall worse division than the NFC South.
Yeah, without a question.
That's just my opinion. And I think the NFC West, I know the Seahawks and Niners are good, but the Cardinals and Rams are going to weigh that division down big time. So, but yeah, Doc, Jaguars over under.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking them over. I got a minimum 11. I think that there's a lot of potential for 12. I'd like to see it. I think the obvious ones, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Baltimore losses.
They play the Niners too.
Niners, I think, is going to be a close game with the Niners. They're at home against the Niners. I think that they can take that one. And then you think Buffalo's going to be a toss-up for the London Jaguars. I think Buffalo's going to take that one. And I think that that's potentially the 5 that they're going to lose.
This is the one team in the AFC South, though, that's beating Atlanta for sure because, like I said, they're going to probably beat us 31-10. It's in London. I think it's the first London game of the year, too, so expect a beatdown. I'm a little nervous to play Jacksonville. I don't want to see them at all, even in Jacksonville and Atlanta. It doesn't matter where it's at. I do not want to see the Jaguars this year. That's just for any team. I think that they're a sneaky team with a lot of confidence right now, and that's what you want in the NFL. So I'm excited for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I think they got the depth to do it too. Like they can have a couple injuries on offense and still not have that huge of impact on them. So,
oh yeah. But hey, that's your AFC South boys. We are 7/8 of the way done. We have one division left, and I made sure Chris was going to be there for this one.
The best division in the NFL. The most competitive, strongest division.
The worst team last year was 7 wins. All teams had 7 wins or more, and no other division had that. Besides the NFC East.
It's easy when you guys play each other twice.
Atlanta beat Seattle last year.
That's 4-4 for everybody.
Splitting that. 4-4 right there.
Wait.
Easy
Atlanta went in to Seattle last year, early in the season too, and won.
This was before Gino got warmed up, dude.
Yeah, he was getting a stride.
Yeah, Gino's warm now. You ain't touching Gino this year, dude.
No, we beat. To be honest, if you actually look, so I was looking at this. I'll do it early. Fuck it, because we're talking about it. So last year, Atlanta only got blown out in 2 games. The Bengals in Cincinnati, they dominated us.
The
And then
Bengals in their
we
bye
did
week?
lose by it was a bye week for them. But we beat San Francisco. Beat the Niners. I don't care who the quarterback was. They were good whoever the quarterback was. Jimmy G had a good record with them. It was Jimmy G.
Before or after CMC?
So we lost by 1 to New Orleans. We lost by 4 to the Rams when they were healthy. We went into Seattle 1. We beat Nick Chubb and the Browns. I don't give a shit. They did good with Jacoby Brissett. They were a competitive team. Yeah, we barely lost to Brady, but that was the Grady Jarrett bullshit. He always slung them down too hard game. We beat the Niners. We got blown out. We beat the Panthers. We barely lost to the Chargers. We lost to the Panthers by 10. We beat the Bears by 3. Fuck you, Doc. We did lose the Commanders. We lost to the Steelers by 3. Lost to the Saints by 3. We lost to the Ravens by 8. So 1 possession game there, and then we beat the Cardinals. And technically, we beat Brady and the Bucs, even though he didn't finish the game. Technically, lost against Brady.
That was the Ravens with Tyler Huntley too. So
it didn't seem to matter. He led you all to the playoffs at the end of the season. So
because we had enough wins at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but I mean, you hyped him up as a Pro Bowl quarterback, so we beat a Pro Bowl QB.
He what? You lost to him.
But Desmond Ridder was also our quarterback, who you're not high on. So you lost to our backup you beat our backup by 3. So I mean, I'm just saying, like,
game of backups.
But
by 3.
That's the next division.
17-9.
Yeah, we lost by 8.
Save for the next episode, boys. Save for the next one.
9.
Keep this spice for the next one.
Yeah, two score games.
Chris will be in there for that one. Definitely gonna talk our division: Saints, Bucks, Panthers, and Falcons. But we kind of had like a late minute conversation started before we were literally just warming up, talking, catching up. We talked about Hard Knocks, and like Luke said, no team has been picked for Hard Knocks. The Lions turned it down. I think, like Luke said, the Jets are the team I think that most of the NFL world wants to see because Aaron Rodgers is now in New York. But it kind of brought the question up. I want to ask you guys, I'll kind of go last. I'll piggyback off you guys. Who do you want to see on Hard Knocks? I mean, I don't typically watch it, but if I can get my way, I would probably watch it. So, Doc, you start us off there. Who at all 32 teams, I don't give a shit what the standards are you have to have. If you could pick one team to watch, who would it be?
If I'm a betting man, I think it's going to be the Jets. Just kind of the direction that they're going. They're an exciting team right now. They're moving up. If I had my way with today's theme, I think I'd like to see the Jaguars. I'd like to see the Jaguars. The connection between Dougie P and Trevor Lawrence, Ridley's return, just everything about that team, I think is going to be an exciting year for them.
I also think it's going to be the Jets overall. But if I had my way, I think watching Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos, just Sean Payton and Russell Wilson just going at it, and hopefully they hate each other. So it'd be great TV right there.
They kick out his whole fucking team.
Yeah, it just how awkward and weird Russell Wilson is, and how Sean Payton's just going to fucking put him in his place, kick out all the team Russell out of the building. Get Russell Wilson out of his own little office, put him back in the locker room. Got a lot of change going on over there with Sean Payton coming in. So I mean, I don't think their team is really that good either. So it'll be kind of good to watch some players. Get some good stories. Some players you never heard of. Watch them throughout the season, kind of like you did with the Lions with Rodrigo last season.
Yeah.
So yeah, get some good stories out of there, and watch Russell Wilson get put in his place. It'll be fun.
I do agree the Jets will probably be the team that's going to make it. And I'm okay with seeing that. I like to see Rodgers in the New York spotlight. Why not? But I would be excited to see the Chicago Bears. I'm excited to see this rebuild. I know I've hyped it up plenty in this offseason. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year. I'm excited to see Justin Fields with DJ Moore. I think that'd be a cool chemistry I'd like to see. Yeah, they might not have a lot of character personalities on the team, but Hard Knocks also brings that out of you too. So the camera will show that. Someone in Chicago, it doesn't matter which team it is, they will light up the camera. They will be the talk of the town. You'll have this rookie as well that will light up training camp and preseason. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Chicago Bears.
They do have a lot of personalities on that team.
Yeah, and then also I guess it's a good look at the coach too, Matt Eberflus, or whatever his name is, the former Colts coordinator for the defense.
Eberflus.
Eberflus, whatever. But I like to see that. I also like to see Roshan Johnson, my former Longhorn, too. I think he's going to eventually take the starting running back position when it's all said and done over Herbert and Foreman. Maybe we'll have to wait a year, but I'd be excited to Chicago and honestly the Jets, too, just because of Rodgers. But, man,
I wanted to say the Bears, but I didn't want to be biased.
I'll do it for you. I'll take the team, one of our teams.
Hey, but moving on real quick, shout out to Chris taking the first and second pick in the draft, coming out of LSU. Big season for them, winning the Natty. Congrats, Chris. First two guys going to Pittsburgh and Washington, so they're going to hate their careers, but a little bit of fame for you guys.
Pittsburgh's doing a little decent right now.
Washington's fucked.
Well, I saw something too, Doc. And I know Luke's not a baseball guy, but I wish I had the photo.
Chris,
I think the LSU Tigers are the only college in history to have right here. Oh no, that's not it. Damn it! They're the only team in college history to have the first pick in all four major sports. So I think they're counting that as baseball. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't hockey, but it said four major sports on there, and that's phenomenal, honestly. At least baseball, basketball, football. I think they're counting women's and men's basketball. I don't think they were counting hockey.
Probably not. I'm trying to think of who the hockey. Oh no, the first hockey pick was Connor Bedard to the Blackhawks, and that was not LSU.
No, not the same year, but like just in history, they like I said, first pick overall.
No other schools had a first overall pick in the four major sports.
So it says right here, so it says LSU became the only school with a first round, only school in the 22 season to have NFL, MLB, and NBA. So just let alone, I mean, we know LSU is literally a powerhouse in history, at least our time frame. So, like I said, congratulations to the Tigers. They're on the up right now.
You got a good program up there.
Yeah, but UCF's coming up, man. They're hitting that real Power 5 now, so we'll see what they do.
Yeah, youngest school in Power 5, so they're growing
really?
quick. Yeah, they are the youngest school in Power 5.
Oh, I thought. Okay, I'm sorry. I know. I was thinking age, just like age of players, but they're all young. I still haven't been it.
All the players are the same age.
Well, it's your Stinson.
Ain't gonna be no asterisk. Ain't gonna be no asterisk now.
They ain't gonna need them.
But Doc, you mentioned baseball, Doc, and tonight was the home run derby, and history was made as well. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. won tonight. Almost got screwed over, but he survived. But he became the first father-son combination in history to win the home run derby. I mean, obviously, his father was one of those legendary batters all time. Vladimir Guerrero Sr. Man, never wore batting gloves. If it was a bouncing ball, he would fucking send that thing into the sky. It'd go to the moon. I mean, his dad was a beast.
Oh, the dude had the reach to hit from post to post, top of the fence down. Sand wedge out of the dirt, didn't matter. The guy's crushing it, hitting absolute fucking moon shots. Those balls need a damn visa to travel back to the stadium, okay?
And was a good fielder, too. He had a cannon of an arm as well.
Oh, an absolute cannon. No, he was so much fun to watch way back in the day. Good for Vladdy, man. Good for Vladdy Jr. to come out there and be able to make history like that. I mean, the guy's been a fucking powerhouse hitting machine with the long ball the last couple of seasons, so good for him. He seems to have finally gotten the swing down and focused on the contact as well, but very entertaining. Unfortunately, my pick, who I actually did not pick to win the whole thing, but I wanted to out of, bias, but Luis Robert, congrats, big guy. Huge first round. Who the fuck did he knock out?
Oh, he knocked out. Was it? No, it wasn't Mookie. Mookie played. Oh, it was.
No, Mookie fucking.
Oh, it was the guy from the Orioles. Dude. It was Luke's boy from Baltimore.
Rutschman. Yeah, Rutschman. Yeah, Rutschman. Switch hitting Rutschman. Everybody thought that he was going to seal the deal. He hit like 8 out of 10 when he went to the right side, and Robert came out, hit his. Now Rutschman didn't get his second 30-second bonus. He only got the 130 that everybody gets, which I don't even know why they call it a 30-second bonus because everybody gets it. Just make the shit 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, he came out swinging. He ended up getting the 2 440-foot homers to get his extra 30 seconds. Fucking took one homer to do it. Boom. Game over. Bye-bye.
I mean,
Adley.
you talked about a show in the first round. Julio Rodriguez put on a show, and
an absolute tank.
Well, it wasn't just so. Obviously, you have to hit the ball, but his pitcher. That's the key to the home run derby is the chemistry. He put it literally in the perfect spot every throw, and he doesn't take a step. It's just a flick of the wrist. Dude, Julio Rodriguez was launching it out. He beat the favorite that was the betting odds favorite, Pete Alonso. Nothing you could have done there. 41 home runs. Dude, man was a fucking monster. And then sizzled out there. And speaking of that, Luke, I know you don't watch it. I think you would watch it if you watched it, you would be like, damn, home run derby is exciting because it's just quick pace.
No, I would watch it. Just got caught up at work. Didn't get home in time to watch it. Life stuff. I just got ready right before it came on. So, life sucks sometimes. So you miss opportunities to watch some good stuff.
They need to change the format though, and they need to get away from the bracket. I think, cool. Brackets are fun. I understand. March Madness is amazing. But if you are going to have like a bracket, at least reseed it every round, change it up. But then that screws somebody over like it almost did Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Just make it, you have your 8 guys, cut it in half, and then you have your winner. That's all you have to simply do.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I never liked it when they went to the bracket on this. I thought it was a joke. The old format. I also you ever watch the old home run derby? Where they did it like a game style. You got the 3 outs, you hit the home run. Yeah, I want to see them bring that back. I remember watching that early in the morning when I was a kid. That was a lot of fun. They played the replays on one of the ESPN or ESPN Classic when summer break came and everything. Loved watching that shit. But I'll say my biggest disappointment was Mookie Betts. I mean, it was very clear that he didn't want to be there. Even his wife. They said had to convince him to do it, and he did it just for her. I mean, I get the reason for doing it, just look back at your career and say that you did it and check it off and everything. But, man, I thought it was, borderline disrespectful. I mean, you could just tell he didn't want to be there. The swings were lazy. The swings were not as quick-moving as the other players. He just didn't give a shit, didn't even call his timeout. There was no competition there. It was just sad for the home run derby.
Yeah, I mean, and Doc, you mentioned the old format. I think they mentioned Vlad Sr. I think one of the years he won it 3-2. So that just shows, these guys are getting 20 plus, 30 plus home runs in a round because it was the old style. You get 10 outs, and then it took forever. I mean, Josh Hamilton was probably yes, these performances are great because it's such quick pace. It's a lot on your body. You're just rocking out swings. But Josh Hamilton, what he did in Yankee Stadium, his home run derby, it's probably one of my favorite home run derbies of all time. I mean, they were going out, dude. It was like till midnight. They had their home run derby, 1:00 in the morning, close to that time. So, I mean, I think the home run derby is exciting. I think just need to change the format a little bit. I think don't have a bracket, just have all 8 in a pot, and then shrink it down to 4, shrink it down to 2, have a champion. Because, like I said, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. went in the semifinals, and then he was the next batter in the championship because of the seeding. So he was gassed out. He won though, but you could have literally just screwed over one of the candidates to win it. So,
and that's the other thing. I know that the entire the name of the game obviously is hitting as many home runs as possible, but I'm not impressed by 40, man. I mean, as cool as 40 is in the first round, the toll it takes on your body. I mean, you're just gassed the rest of the event. Not to mention the fatigue it puts on your body. A lot of injuries. People tweak stuff. A lot of people have come out of the home run derby just fucked up the rest of the year, going downhill, just can't produce anymore the rest of the year. Go back to the old format. It's less swings. It's less on the player. It's the entertainment value is still there. You know what I'm saying? There's more excitement in doing the 10 outs or doing 2 innings, 5 outs per innings in the 91 format. I mean, any which way you do it. I don't like the time shit. I don't like the time shit at all.
But hopefully, though, Doc, tomorrow, the American League wins it. They've had a great history, our lifetime, of just dominating the All-Star game. So go American League. My boy Garrett Cole, I'm happy he's starting, but I'm also a little upset because he just pitched Saturday. I don't want him to fry his arm out. And right now, that's one of the only good things about the Yankees. Their offense has been shit since Judge has been out. So I want to see Garrett Cole in there, but I also don't because I just want him to be healthy for the year. He's having a decent year for us. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So, but, I mean, just throwing the fry his arm out, Luke. Hey, the Orioles got an all-star too. Nowadays, everyone has to get an all-star, though. That's the rules.
Oh, it's been like that for years. It's been like that for years. One other thing I forgot to mention too. I don't know when they started this, but it's not like the top 4 in the Derby for each league in home runs. It's just the top 8 overall. There was one National League representative today.
There's 2, Mookie Betts and Pete.
Oh yeah, 2. Okay, that's right.
But you still have to. Well, it's not even the top 8 anymore. It's whoever wants to be in it. It's literally just accept it. I mean, they're like, oh yeah, I'll do it, because not everyone wants to be in it. That's the thing.
Because they know what it fucking does to them.
Yeah. But Luke, man, hopefully your Orioles show up tomorrow, and hopefully you help the American League win. We're all American League besides. Actually, Chris technically roots for the American League because of Bregman, but maybe he's a Pirate now. So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Should have time to watch it tomorrow evening, so hopefully.
It's on Fox, so just make sure you have it ready. 8 Eastern, I believe. But, boys, great episode. We missed Chris. I mean, I wanted to hear him rip on Anthony Richardson just because I know he can't stand AR-15. Still a little upset he had Tim Tebow's number. I mean, it's just it's the greatest quarterback of potentially in college history, and you're just handing that number out like it's candy for the offensive players. So, but boys, we have our last division next week. So, or this later up this week, the NFC South. Like I said, Saints, Bucks, Panthers, and Falcons. Be ready.
I think I got the Falcons for 1.
Yeah, I guarantee the Falcons. I guarantee the Falcons will at least go once again 7-10. I do think they'll stay at least 7 wins. Their schedule's not hard. It's really
I think
not
they get third
hard.
in the division. Probably third.
So last year, 4th in the division was 7-10. So like I said, I don't think Tampa's gonna be that good. Just spoiler. I'm not high on the quarterbacks. I hope that they're not good because
New Orleans ain't gonna be good.
This corner that's talking a lot of mad shit saying, well, Tom retired. The only good thing about if Tampa's good is it just shows that Tom Brady was ass last year. So that's the only highlight if the Bucs do good is that we can all say, well, Brady was the fucking wink link last year. So fuck you, Tom. That's the only good thing.
Fuck you, Tom.
I think he's doing okay.
Well, yeah, he's potentially dating Kim Kardashian. So good for the guy, man. He's moving on. He's moving on
He
in
has
life.
$350 million contract too. So I think life's good for Tom Brady now in retirement.
Only lost $30+ million in his FTX crypto when they were supposed to be a lot more than that, but apparently he only escaped with losing $30 million. So good for Tom Brady. Yeah.
Living the life.
Fuck you, Tom.
Yeah, fuck you, Tom. Hey, but I am excited to see if he gets in the Fox. He should be on the B team once again. Hey, that is Luke Rule. That is Nick the Doc Skirkwin. Shout out to you, Chris. Way to survive that road trip. I'm your host, Mark Davis. This is All About the Balls podcast, and we are out. Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Sack House.